Chapter 6, Owning Your Content. I've probably seen thousands of presentations over the years given by industry colleagues and my own students. One thing I would immediately notice is whether the presenters truly own their content. When I say owning content, I don't mean memorization. In almost all cases, memorization is the opposite of ownership. Ownership has to do with being comfortable with the content to the extent that you understand it. That doesn't mean you need to be an expert on the entire subject, but it does mean that you need to be an expert as far as the content of the presentation is concerned. However, while this may seem contradictory, if you truly don't understand all aspects of your content, sometimes the perception of owning your content can be just as good or good enough. I'm not encouraging you to not learn your content, but I'm being realistic. I'm sure you've heard this before. Perception is reality. When you own your content, you speak to it with confidence. People command the room when they own their content, and this directly correlates with your confidence. I've seen introverts turn into extroverts when they deliver an excellent speech and own their content. I once had an introverted student who needed some improvement. He did an excellent job on the final presentation of the semester. It came alive. He gave a great presentation on day trading and shared that he was a day trader. He owned his content. He had a command of the ideas and the words coming out of his mouth. He had a great time presenting, and his confidence was at an all-time high. One of my best friends, who I've known since elementary school, is the most confident person I've ever met. He's a former high school and college track star and is currently an actor and high school teacher. Will he ever become the next Al Pacino or Matt Damon? It's likely that will never happen. But no matter what he does, act, or teach, his confidence is his greatest asset. It's not BS. It lives within the core of his chest and pours out in whatever he does. Everyone sees it. Ownership versus memorization. Ownership doesn't mean memorization. If you truly feel the need to memorize and you can do it without coming across as robotic, go for it. Steve Jobs did this, for the most part, when he delivered his famed Apple keynotes throughout the years. But I can tell you, as a marketing and innovation guy, Jobs was the exception in many ways. Most of us are not like him. There's one other exception: actors and performers. However, they're trained on how to come across as natural. It's part of their craft and is expected of them. That's why they call it acting. But most of us, including myself, are mere mortals. If you try to memorize, you'll most likely come across as robotic. Believe me when I tell you that your audience will be able to tell. Your eyes will have a blank stare and you'll have an unnatural look on your face as if you're processing data. Why? Well, because you are. The other problem with memorization is that if you miss a word, that may completely ruin your presentation. One missed word can generally throw everything out of sequence. So don't work so hard if you don't have to. Or work hard towards other aspects of your presentation. Actors need to memorize their scripts. You and I do not. In the next chapter, we'll discuss ways that will complement how to own your content and come across as authentic.